Start winning at the races with Daily Racing Form's new mobile pass performances, featuring exclusive buyer speed figures and expert analysis and selections. Go to drf.com/best and get the power of DRF in the palm of your hand.
Hi, everybody. Dan Illman, Mike Beer, taking a look at race number 10 at Churchill Downs on Kentucky Derby Saturday. Let's throw up the field for the Grade 3 Iroquois. 2-year-olds going a one-turn mile. Maybe we'll see some entrants in the 2021 Kentucky Derby emerge from the Iroquois. These are very lightly raced horses. Some of them have strong pedigrees. Most are coming out of maiden wins. And these connections are going to find out what they have on Saturday, Mike.
Yeah, I mean, there's not a lot to go on. Most of these horses only have 1 or 2 starts, and they're going to, step right up here. Most of them are stretching out in distance for the first time as well. So there's a lot going on, but there's some potential in this field for sure.
Deserving 7-5 morning line favorite on the 10. The Ride of a Lifetime. He's one of those horses stretching out for the first time, and as we see on the Timeform US pace projector, he's expected to put that good speed to use. He ran really well last time out in the Saratoga Special. He's got figs, and if he is able to get the mile with an easy lead, and an easy lead is always kind of a dicey situation with 2-year-olds, a lot of them are speed crazy, he's going to be real tough.
No, yeah, I mean, he's run 3 times already, so he's got that as an advantage over a lot of these horses, that he's got experience, and he's actually run really well in all of those races too, Dan. It feels like the distance is supposed to be no problem for him, and we'll see how fast the pace gets. I mean, this can't be an easy pace projector to make. Most of these horses, you don't have a lot to work with, and it's not like you got a bunch of horses who were blasting to the front and breaking their maidens. That really wasn't happening with a lot of these horses.
One of those horses that came from behind in the career debut was the number 1 Drop Anchor, who took advantage of a fast pace to win this race at Ellis Park, only with a 49 buyer speed figure. But he's the gray on the outside, and he's got to pass 5 horses in the last eighth of a mile. And once he changes leads, Mike, he does so nicely. There's plenty of room for improvement. The 4th place horse came back to run second with a 54 buyer.
I mean, he won this race easily at the end. He ran that field right over. It wasn't a fast race. But listen, he lacked speed. He steadied a little bit on the backstretch and lost a little more position. And I thought he ran well to win that race. He's going to have to improve big time to beat this field.
Sitting on Go, the number 2, won this start, going 5/8 of a mile. It's his career debut. Another situation where there was a fast pace up front. He's by Brody's cause. The Dam was a 2-year-old stakes winning sprinter, but I like the way Sitting on Go, once he professionally split horses, finishes it off nicely. This one might have a little bit of ability. His buyer's light. That just helps his price.
Yeah, I liked that win from him too, because he got outrun early in that race, but he made a long run. He ran all the way around the turn, and he ran all the way through the stretch. Once he got into the clear, you saw him, how easily he took over and ran away from that field. This horse did a lot of work in that race to win.
The number 3 Super Stock is a dialed-in half-brother to the 2-year-old Grade 1 stakes-placed filly Bougie Girl, and he won his maiden against Texas restricted foes last time at Lone Star. Let's watch this race because they turned for home and it is just a scrum. It's anybody's race right here. Super Stock is in the lead with the blue cap. It looks like he's in big trouble. Let's give this guy some credit. He refused to lose and he earned a respectable 71 fig while getting away from him at the end.
Maybe he did, and he's improved in every one of his starts so far. It's a pretty big ask here, Dan. Stepping way up in class and stretching out from 5.5 to a mile. He's run some good races. He's going to have to run better than that, I think.
Ultimate Badger, the number 4, is stretching out 3 furlongs off this victory at Ellis Park, but he's bred to get additional ground. He's by commissioner. The Dam was a 2-year-old stakes-placed runner, and we're going to see Ultimate Badger on the outside win this race, I thought, very comfortably. That 60 buyer speed figure, again, he can build on this performance, and something tells me the mile definitely in his scope.
I think he'll get the mile too. That was a 5 furlong race. So again, he's got a big stretch out in front of him here. I like this win though, Dan. The horse that wound up finishing 3rd in there actually showed good speed to get clear. This horse just chased him all the way and ran him over in the stretch.
Dreamer's Disease, the number 5's raced once on dirt, and he didn't break very well, and that was pretty much the end of him. He rebounded when stretched out to a mile on turf last time out when he was able to get the lead at a big price. Now, I'm not sure whether he's a turf horse, whether he needed distance, whether he needed the experience. I still think 12-1's a little bit light, although that turf buyer puts him in good stead.
It does if he can run it back on dirt. But, you know, from my way of thinking anyway, he's bred to be a turf horse. And so it was no surprise to me that he really improved on grass. I'm not betting this horse coming back to dirt.
The number 6 is Belafonte, and I think we give Belafonte some extra points for winning his debut at a demanding debut distance. It's not easy for a first-time starter to win at 7/8 of a mile. Here's Belafonte doing it at Ellis Park over muddy going. He's also 49-1 in this race, and he's a little bit green drifting in as he makes the front. But Belafonte does eventually get away from this field. 56 buyer, not sure he beat much in this race.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you would just have to feel like he didn't beat a good field here. You can go through the other horses and Formulator and see, but it felt like a weak field. On the other hand, you're not going to see too many horses win like that. I mean, he was last from the gate. He was way back outrun early. He probably had a run for 5.5 furlongs in there, and he stayed wide the entire way, and he just kept coming, and he took over, and he got clear at the end. I thought he did a lot of work in there. It doesn't mean he's going to win this race, Dan, but that's probably an underrated effort.
The 7, Pico De Oro, won his maiden in a $100,000 stake. It was the Ellis Juvenile on August the 9th. We'll take a look at that race right now. It was another race that featured a good pace up front, a pace that perhaps collapsed a little bit. And Pico De Oro, who's moving into second right now, still has some work to do at the 8th pole. He's going to get by this horse and go away. I like the try that he showed. He has a nice pedigree. I'm not sure how low a price I would take on him as he stretches out to a mile, but he has the pedigree to handle it.
He's supposed to be able to stretch out. The horse that he ran down there that we just watched is the horse that beat him 1 start prior in the maiden race going shorter. It felt like that horse just didn't get the 7, and this horse maybe took advantage a little bit. We'll see. I'm with you. I wouldn't take a short price on this horse.
Midnight Bourbon's second lifetime start was very, very impressive. It was at a mile at Ellis Park. Let's watch that race right now. There was a good pace going on. This horse broke well, came to hand, sat second, and just look at the jock. Looking around for any kind of competition in the stretch. Midnight Bourbon is doing this on his own. He's got a pedigree. He's a half to a Cocked and Loaded, who won this race, I believe, in 2015. He's a half to Pirates Punch, who's a multiple grade 2 stakes placed horse. He's a half to a grade 1 stakes winner as well. He's got a big pedigree. I just wonder if that last race was more an example of your typical Asmussen second out forward move, or if this horse really wants the mile and is getting better.
No, I think it's probably the latter. His debut wasn't too bad at all, actually. Going a mile, first time out against horses that had experience, and they just put him on the lead that day, and he got tired through the stretch. I thought that was a really good prep. He crushed that field last time. He took a huge step forward. I think he's a super dangerous horse in here.
So not only is he kin to Pirates Punch and Cocked and Loaded, his half-brother Gervin won the Haskell as well, and he seems to have some tactical speed. Let's watch Crazy Shot's career debut, going 5 furlongs. Another one coming from off the pace. Another one at a big price. He's 20-1 for Rusty Arnold and Calumet Farn, and this Trap Shot colt's able to wear him down late. Going to have to find a little more in this tougher spot.
Yeah, he's going to have to improve. A lot of horses have to improve in here. He's certainly one of those, but he does gamely get it done. Some sort of gawking at the stands a little bit there in the stretch. He probably needed that race.
Here's the number 10, the Ride of a Lifetime. Very impressive at Keeneland, winning by open lengths with an 85 buyer for a 2-year-old in July. That's pretty good. He ran well in the Saratoga Special last time out. I think Jackie's Warrior right now is the best 2-year-old in the country. Jackie's Warrior's got the lead. The Ride of a Lifetime's been chasing this hot pace throughout. The Ride of the Lifetime has no quit in the stretch. He's just simply second best in this race. And listen, he's an omnifig except for the turf number earned by Dreamer's Disease. All 3 of his dirt buyers would qualify as the fastest buyer in this field.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I don't really have anything to add to that. He's run really well in all of his races. The 2 losses, both to Jackie's Warrior, and I agree with you. He's probably the best 2-year-old out there right now. Listen, this horse is going to take a ton of beating. He has to get the mile. If he doesn't get the mile, this race is probably open to anyone. But if he gets it, he's going to be really hard to beat.
And completing this field of promising 2-year-olds, well, it's nice to see Mr. Lucas have a starter on Kentucky Derby Saturday. He's got the promising 2-year-old Notary, a son of Kentucky Derby winner Street Sense. And let's watch his victory second time out at Ellis Park. He defeated Midnight Bourbon, and he was up close to a fast pace in this race, and he kept right on going. He's got a little bit of a pedigree as well. He's kin to 3 black-type earners, including Bridgetown, who was a pretty quick Grade 3 stakes winner on the turf, Mike.
Yeah, no, there are things to like about him. Certainly, he used his experience, I think, to get the better of Midnight Bourbon in this race. You saw Midnight Bourbon there in the replay tiring through the stretch. This horse took over, and he held on very gamely. Still only earned a 55 buyer for that win, and that concerns me a little bit. He's got to get a lot faster.
Let's take a look at our top selections for the Grade 3 Iroquois Stakes. The horse they're all going to have to down is the Ride of a Lifetime. He's just been too fast for all these horses right now. The key for him is, can he stay the mile? You're confident he can.
Yeah, I think he will. He's a talented 2-year-old for sure, and I think he'll get the mile down. I think he's going to be hard to beat in here. I think the horse you put on top, though, is the main danger to him. That horse has looked pretty good, and he's got a lot of upside.
And I know he'll get the mile. He showed that last time out. And boy, just a very visually impressive performance. Beautiful pedigree, great connections, and maybe a decent price due to the presence of the Ride of a Lifetime. Same exacta, different order. Mike's going 10-8-1-2. I'm going 8-10-3-7 in the Grade 3 Iroquois on Saturday at Churchill Downs. Approximate post time 4:07 Eastern. Good luck.